Welcome to this episode of the podcast. Today I talk to Janelle Keys. She's a photographer and businesswoman. She shares some very good insight into how she got her business started and any advice for anyone out there who may be looking to get into photography. So yeah, check it out. I'll throw it over to Janelle to introduce herself and go for it, Janelle.
Yeah, hi. Thanks so much, Elliot. So my name's Janelle Keys. I'm a mum and a wife and photographer out in beautiful Hawkesbury Valley in Sydney, so out at Richmond. And that keeps me busy.
Nice. And you're a photographer. You have your own photography business.
Yes.
So tell me, where did that start? How did you get started with that?
Well, a bit of a kind of a long story. I did start a business just before my children were born, about probably 18, 19 years ago now. They keep getting bigger. And I started as a freelance graphic designer.
Okay.
So I did that in the hopes that I could build up a little bit of a client basis and then work when children started coming along so I could stay at home.
Yep.
So that's where the entry into the business world started.
Yep.
And that's worked really well. So I've been able to have 3 kids and just manage to work around them and still be involved in all their whatever they do as babies and toddlers and primary school, and now they're all in high school. So probably about... I'd say about 9 years ago now, I was actually working on an advertising campaign for a local shopping centre when the green bags started coming out for the first time, and I had to photograph them for this ad. So I thought I want a really nice photo of this shopping bag, so borrowed a camera off my brother, and I'd never used a DSLR camera before, and so taking photos of this bag, I thought, I really like the feel of this camera in my hand. I've never felt anything like it, and was taking amazing pictures. And of course, and I'm practicing on the kids as they're running past. So I just loved it. So went and got myself a camera, and then just was photographing children, my kids, and friends started to see it, and they wanted me to photograph their kids, and it all sort of snowballed from there. So
it just went from you just taking pictures just
for fun as a mum. Wanted to document my kids' childhood. And just the craziness that kids are, and people sort of were drawn to that, and and wanted it for themselves. So was running the design business and the photography business side by side for a bit. Just the more I deal with families and doing that, I just loved it. So
nice.
It just had so much more meaning than working for businesses.
And you when you left school, you went straight into graphic design
in a roundabout kind of a way. So the quick version is left school, didn't know what I wanted to do, so I did a quick course in office admin, which got me a job in a print factory. And just the print industry just fascinates me, and just getting things printed and the ink and working in the factory there. So got into that and then put myself through design school. So just getting into that whole print industry. So now I'm just sort of in print industry, but it's the photographic print industry.
Yes. So you get to a point where a lot of people are loving what you're doing. They're asking you to probably take pictures of their family and that. At what point did you think, you know what, I think I'll pursue this, and I think I'll turn it into a business? At what point was it just the sheer mass of sort of people that you were taking pictures of, or?
I think it was, I did a photo shoot for a friend of mine. I can still remember the shoot, and still friends with a beautiful friend. And she asked me, and she's like, I'm going to pay you because I've seen your work and you're talented. So it's like, I'm going to pay a stranger. I'd rather pay a friend of mine, which was wonderful. So Yeah, so I just did hers, and she's like, get ready because I'm going to tell everyone. So, and she did, and yeah, so I just know that being in business from the graphic design side, I sort of know how to put stuff into, sort of make those wheels turn from a business point of view, and value what I do and that sort of stuff. So I was able to sort of transfer that over quite easily. And
and did you feel as though that helped, having that background?
For sure. For sure. Yeah. So I already sort of had a little bit of marketing know-how, and
I've just got a few dogs just
There's
running around
my
the
little
office.
buddies are here, and they're deciding to come and have some fun.
Of course.
So I did have that background in business, and it was easy to transfer over to the photography. It was just kind of a different industry, came with its challenges, but fortunately I didn't have to relearn business all over again.
That does help, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so obviously you said a friend of yours says that they're going to pay you.
Yep.
So you're now starting a business. So tell us how you went about the process on getting it started.
Sure. Well, fortunately, I'm a graphic designer, so I was able to do all my own branding.
Yeah.
And then it's basically putting the word out, which obviously social media helps.
Yeah.
And just really, I learnt that it wasn't just about taking a pretty picture. It was really getting to know your camera, so that when a client asks you to take a photo in, a dark house or something, you knew your gear and you know how to make it work. So when people pay you, that's an honour, and it's a big thing, and you need to step up. So it was about knowing your gear. So I did a lot of training, a lot of teaching myself. So loving the online learning. So did a lot of online learning, and just thirsty for information and just learning how to do it. And so there's the creative side of the photography business and the business side of the photography business. So learning both of those and just getting the word out and practice.
And so in the beginning, in terms of, your gear or your equipment use, have you found as though at the busier that you've gotten that you've sort of had to upgrade in order to improve the quality of what you're doing? Yeah,
for sure. So I started with what I could afford, and you make that work.
Yeah.
And then what happened? I think I had to put my camera in for a service, and it was taking super duper long, and I had these shoots on, so it was like, what do I do? And I just sort of took the leap and bought a whole nother camera.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's okay, like it'll be a backup. But I went to the next level up and was like, wow, this camera's amazing. Like, it went, and it's not the camera, it's how you use it, but it really did have better capabilities and that sort of stuff. And then and then you sort of, once you hit a situation, so like I photograph in people's homes a lot, and just sort of in home lifestyle. So it's often dark and there's not a lot of light, so that's where quality of lenses comes in, and quality of the camera really helps. So I was finding that I was missing shots and not getting the shot that was in my head because of the gear let me down. So that's where you sort of expand. I'd try and even all these new fancy cameras keep coming out, but I'm like, no, I'm fine at the moment because I can do what I want to do with the gear that I've got. But as soon as I'm missing shots, or as soon as I'm not getting the vision that's in my head, then it would be time to expand, get that new lens or get that better body because it's got low light capabilities or whatever the case may be, but just so that I can keep producing that professional quality work.
And that's all part of the learning, I guess, as well, like because you'd obviously, you said online learning and that, and it's just a matter of upskilling in a way.
Yeah, for sure. You've got to learn what your camera and and gear is capable of and what it can't do, and then
do you find that the equipment, because more and more people are getting into photography, do you find that the equipment's getting a little bit sort of the price point into it is cheaper, whereas where once upon a time there weren't too many people photographers, so I guess there wasn't much options, weren't many options out there.
Yeah, for sure. I know when I actually remember when digital was still coming in, because I was in the print industry at the time, and digital was coming in, and it was like a really good quality camera was 10 grand. I was like, wow, well, that's unattainable. So you just didn't even think that was a possibility. So for sure, as technology is advancing, the prices come down. It's making it affordable for everyone. Which is great. So it's made it available for me, and it makes it available for other people. But yeah, for sure, the prices have definitely come down and opened the market up.
Have you had any challenges so far along the way?
For sure, heaps of challenges. Well, I mean, the big challenge is that photography is a luxury. It's a luxury item, and families have enough,
on their plate.
On their plate. The budget's stretched thin as it is. So it is a luxury item. So it's not like you need it. Like a wedding, I don't do a lot of weddings, but a wedding is just like, yes, I need a photographer. Like it's an automatic checkbox that you've got to tick. Family photography is not needed.
Not too many people are saying, oh, let's get a photographer out and photograph us playing. Or
for sure. So it's definitely something that you have to sort of educate people on and say why they might like it. And why they might like me as opposed to somebody else. Kind of like selling ice to Eskimos, I feel like sometimes. But that is a challenge.
Because there, like as I said before, a lot of people getting into photography, so there is quite a lot of photographers out there.
There's a lot of
competition. So for you to, I guess, stand out, how do you go about trying to stand out from other photographers?
There's a lot of photographers out there, which is great, because that means that there's something for everybody. But the way I'm trying to stand out from everyone else is to be a full-service photographer. So I think when digital came in, people sort of substituted in their minds, we won't get a photograph, we'll get a digital file, and they kind of think that that's the end result. Whereas to me, the end result is having that photograph in your hand, or that album or whatever. So, so as opposed to taking photos and handing over digital images, to me that's half a job, and I don't want to leave my clients sort of with half a job. Our wedding 20 years ago this year, our wedding was photographed on film. So if our wedding photographer handed me 12 rolls of film at the end of the night and said good luck, I would have been mortified, and I would not have known what to do, and I would not have the beautiful leather bound hand painted piece. That's one of our treasures, our family treasures. So I wouldn't have that. It would have been the 6x4s in the plastic album from Big W. So for me, it's just about guiding clients through and giving them the full service that they will get a beautiful heirloom piece at the end. So it might be wall art, it might be an album, it might be some smaller prints. So that's kind of how I'm differentiating myself, that I'm a designer and I will design an album for you using these images. So trying to include my whole skill set into the service.
Because I probably should have said this in the beginning, but Sarah and I, we've used Janelle a few times already, and for me, I guess I'll talk as a male bloke, right? So wife will come up to the partner and say, hey, we're going to get photos taken, and so in our minds we're just like, okay, it's photos, whatever. Anyway, we go out, do the photo shoot, and then with us, you came out to our house and you sort of showed us what options that were available, and I was just like, oh wow, like all these all these things, and then it sort of made it seem like more than just photos. Like
Yeah.
you really were creating for us, well, for me,
Yeah.
definitely like a story and like something that I can definitely treasure,
Yeah.
you know, and pass on to like our kids to say, you know, this is us,
Yeah.
you know. So that's yeah. So when you talk about full service, like that was
Yeah.
just I was really blown away by that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
And so was that something? So talking about that, was that something that you sort of have developed over time
Yeah.
as you've gone on?
Yeah, so I absolutely used to give over the digital files, and that's what the end result was. But I just wasn't satisfied. Like, I'd hand over files and then I wouldn't hear from a client.
Yeah.
Or you get a quick email back, yeah, that's great, thanks. And I'm like, oh, I just invested, because I'm editing people's families, I'm spending a lot of time. I feel like they're kind of my family.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, I feel like I want to know how the story ends, you know? So, yeah, I just was not getting that work satisfaction, that putting so much effort in, and that did my clients really appreciate it. And I'd check back in with them and they'd say, oh, we haven't had a chance to print them yet. The disc is still in the kitchen drawer. And I'm like, really? It's been like 12 months. And they missed out and I feel like terrible. So then again, back to the education and being in forums with other photographers and just saying, no, we've got to like lift the standards of the industry for everyone's sake, everyone gets this great service. And just found myself a lab which is amazing, and they're just the professionals at what they do, and they just produce amazing products that we can then educate our clients on. And so it has been a development, it has been a journey in my business, and now I sat with a client this morning and she was blown away that I helped her design a gallery above her bed. And she's like, oh, thank you, I couldn't have done this like without you. Like, she just would have been lost if I had have handed her those files. And then just having that more connection with the client and becoming friends and having that better relationship. So
And just lost my thought. Sorry. So, you're talking about using social media. Do you feel as though it's easier today to sort of try and go about what you're doing with social media? And what's your take on, I guess, social media and how it's helped you? Yeah,
well, it's definitely been the springboard. Like when I started, Facebook had the amazing reach that it had. And, you know, I actually wasn't on Instagram to start with, but definitely Facebook. You could put something on Facebook and it just go viral. So definitely I think that's been a big springboard, but it has changed a lot just in the short time that I've been in business. And it's still a key factor, but I don't use it today as a means of, I guess it's got different uses. So I like just to stay top of mind and produce just interesting content for people to go, oh, that's, you know, will brighten my day, or, you know, just to give them something of interest. But it's not sort of a real selling tool as a primary selling tool for me.
Is that because you've now sort of got to this point where you do have like quite a bit of like word of mouth? And
I see my marketing as it's like all these doors, and social media is one of those doors. And then there'll be word of mouth is another door, your website's another door, SEO. Like there's so many different ways to market your business. And I find that at any moment, one of those doors or a few of them could all shut. And you don't want that to be your only means. So Facebook will go down.
Exactly.
Instagram goes down. My whole website went down earlier this year. I did not have a website, and I was just like, I don't know how much business I lost, but so I definitely see social media as a really great tool. But it's probably more for friend sharing and that sort of thing, and just staying top of mind. And then and then it's about people connecting with you and then educating them and pointing them back to your website or getting on a phone call and seeing what they actually want and that sort of thing. So, yeah. But it's definitely changed just in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Because you said you went from print, digital marketing.
Yeah.
Was there a focus on social media then as there is today?
Yeah, for sure. So when I started, I'd probably you just post to Facebook and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I've sort of learnt more about business and grown in the business side of it, so I've learnt that partnering with other businesses and that sort of thing is more substantial from a marketing business point of view.
Yeah. And how have you managed to juggle everything all at the same time? Being a mother, being a wife. You're talking about fitting this around. Being able to look after your children.
Yes.
So how have you gone about doing that?
It's definitely a juggle, and you certainly don't keep all those balls in the air at once all the time. But I think for me, the reason I got into business was to be around the kids.
Yeah.
And that has to be my number one sort of focus. So family's always first.
Yep.
So that if any ball's going to get dropped, it's not going to be family, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so family first, and just time management.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a planner nerd and a diary nerd, so there's a planner sitting next to me here.
Yeah.
And I've just been really good at just sort of scheduling out, and the kids' things will go in there. If it's canteen, I've been a canteen mum for years while the kids are at primary school, but they've all got stuff on in the afternoon that I've got to mum taxi them around to. So that all goes in, and then work goes around that.
Yeah.
And just knowing that I can say no to a client.
Yeah.
If they need something that clashes with the kids, I'm saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I think family's important for me, and I work with people whose families are important to them, because that's why they get family photos.
Yeah.
So everyone's on board and like, oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so I think that it's just a matter of using the good old trusty diary and highlighters, family calendars. But just knowing that we can't do it all.
Yeah.
And I have an amazing husband.
Yeah.
So he's very supportive of what I do, and he's there for everything. He's just taken my daughter to her thing because we were doing this interview,
cool.
And he cooks and cleans and does all sorts of things. So just the whole family's supportive, and the kids are all older now, so they all chip in as well.
Well. Oh, have you had to make many sacrifices along the way, or do you feel as though it's been pretty good? You're talking about planning, a supportive husband. Do you find that with all those sort of combined, you haven't had to make as many sacrifices as what maybe other people might make trying to, obtain, juggling everything together type thing?
Yeah, I think I'm sure that I've sacrificed some things.
Yeah.
But I can't sort of think of anything being quite a painful sacrifice. Do you know what I mean? Because I have got to spend the time with the family, and that's been key. Maybe if you compared yourself with other friends and family that have bigger careers or whatever, you could sort of see that I've sacrificed that, but I don't really see it like that. I see that we might not be as financially well off, but we're rich in other ways that in value, other things that mean more to us. So, I don't know that I've sacrificed too much.
Yeah.
I think it's, I don't know.
I guess you've just been able to make everything work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, and if we haven't had something, then it's like, well, that's okay, because the other, what we did get in return was what we valued more.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Have you had any? Do you have any like mentors, people that you sort of look to in a business sense that you would, that comes to mind?
There's not like any sort of major mentor that I have, but I do just follow a lot of people and get business advice wherever it inspires. So there's a couple of podcasts I listen to for the business industry. Photo Biz X by Andrew Helmich is really helpful, just a really good community of photographers helping each other. Also, shout out to my business coach, Mark Rossetto. He has a group as well.
Oh, cool.
He's been really, really inspiring and helpful, his little community there. So big shout out to Mark. And just, photographers, mainly American photographers, but Jean Smith and Shalonda Chaddick, I've been to their workshops and just seeing them work in action and hear how they do things is just amazing. I think that's about it.
And are you a reader or not?
I am a reader.
Yeah.
Probably not for a business point of view, like sort of maybe escaping to a bit of fiction. But for any sort of business learning, I'm sort of a video and podcast junkie.
Yeah. Just doing some editing, and I've just realised that I've actually fluffed this question that I asked Janelle. What I actually asked her is her take on doing free work as a photographer.
You can work for free.
Yeah.
And I don't do a lot of... Well, I only work for free. Here's my rule. If someone asks me, can you do a shoot for me for free?
Yeah.
It's probably going to be no.
Yeah.
Because, I do value my time and my talent. Yeah. And if I'm going to go shoot for somebody, it's time away from my family.
Yeah.
But there are occasions where I need to practice. And I need to test out a location, and I need to test out a new lens, and I can't do that on a paying client because that's not very fair.
Yeah.
So I will, if I ask you, you'll get gifted a shoot. There'll be no strings attached.
Yeah.
So, but I'll tend to ask friends and people that I just want to bless and say, look, can you help me out?
Yeah,
and here's some free photos.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah.
Yeah,
So if I can do that for someone, then that's a blessing to us both. There's collaboration, so I'll work with other businesses, but I try and make it a win-win. So if I can help another business in what they do, I'm happy to do a shoot. I did a shoot for my gym.
Yeah.
She needed it. She was happy to pay me, but I said, hey, look, if you don't mind, I'm happy to do that for free. But your community is my community.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I, touch base with all the mums and bubs in your community?
Yeah,
yeah. And so she's like, oh, yeah. So that sort of enabled me to get a few clients out of that. Yeah. So as long as it's sort of a win-win for both businesses.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why I ask is because I think it's very undervalued, undermined idea of doing things for free, because everyone sort of is doing it with the obviously people have their businesses, and so you're sort of charging, but often is the case. And the reason why I talk about it too is because there might be some people out there who might be starting businesses in the very early stages who it would be good for them to understand that you may have to do things for free, even though you don't want to.
For starting out, if you're starting out a business, you need clients and you need people to shoot. Fortunately, when I was starting out, I had 3 cute little kids who were happy just to play around, and they were sort of my practice people. Yeah, they don't let me photograph them anymore. So for sure, if you are starting out in business, you definitely might need to do, in the business we call it portfolio building. Yeah. And the danger to get into is putting your work out there for free is that people might not value you. Yeah. So it might be maybe a discounted thing, or I'm going to shoot for free for 12 months and then after that, here's my pricing. Yeah. that sort of things. There's lots of ways to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those tight ropes you've got to walk, where you need to get the business in, like you say. You need to develop your client base, but you also got to value yourself as well. So, and everyone's going to be different, and they're going to have to work out what works for them.
Yeah.
So, but I think there's lots of creative ways to do things. But definitely do what you got to do. Shoot for free, and
especially with so many photographers now, I guess it might be one of the better options for someone getting started. If you talking about portfolio
building. Yeah, because I mean, especially if you, what's an example? Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if you want to get into newborn photography or something, there's a whole lot of safety issues with that, and you do need to practice your posing. I mean, there's great tools that you can get now that you're not practicing on actual babies, because that's dangerous. There's tools you can use, but at some point you are going to have to start working on children, and you might say, well, look, these photos may not be the best. If you're happy for me to get what I can get out of this session, I'm happy to do it for free. And then there's no sort of, you're free to do what you want creatively. You're free to do what you need to do, and but you're not bound by somebody going, well, I paid you.
Exactly.
There's a bit of pressure taken off, and the person receiving the photos as well, like, well, I got them for free, like that's okay. But as long as I think the person knows that it is that learning period, and that not to expect that from, at some point that learning photographer is going to be worth, So I think that as long as it's all up front where people are standing and where the value is.
Just like a lot of jobs or businesses, photography, you probably would have to do that in the beginning. You're not going to be a professional photographer from day dot.
Absolutely not. So there's definitely, and I think my training period was with the kids. And like other people might not do that, and I follow photographers who are like, I want to be a photographer, and then the husband says, well, you don't actually have a camera. She goes, it's okay, I'll go get one, and but it might be just borrowing a friend's kid, as you say, doing that for free. There's lots of creative ways to do it, but for sure, getting into the business, it would be a way to go.
And do you think there's a high turnover of, like, because I think a lot of people will probably think, I'll be a photographer, I'll do my friends, and then all of a sudden, and maybe after a while, like, it's probably not as, because there is a lot of hard work that goes into being a photographer. It's not just taking a picture and uploading it and then just giving to the client. Because obviously there is a lot of work. So do you think some people get into it and then get out of it because of the hard work?
Yeah, I think so. If you're doing it for a low cost, it is quite a lot of work, and you can burn out quite quickly. So if you're doing it as a side hobby, a little bit of cash for a sessions sort of is okay, because you've got your main job. When it's your full-time business like mine, you do need, a certain amount of money to make a living. So if you do it like 10 sessions to get X amount of money in a week, that's a lot of work. And it's a lot of burnout, and you're like, I don't want to do this. I'm missing out on my family because I'm editing all night, and it's just like, it's not worth it. So definitely I've learnt to look at it as a business, and just sort of saying, this is how much work is actually going in the back end. So that leaves me this sort of amount of time to do a shoot, or however many shoots a week, that I can still offer the level of service that I want to of my client. So that it's probably about 80% business, 20% shooting. It's not...
Wow,
you can you're definitely at the computer more than you're behind the camera. So yeah, it's definitely a
because I could imagine a lot of people just, you know, I can take really good photos. I should do this for a job or a business. And as you said, you know, you just said 80% is business and 20% is shooting. And for some people, it's like, ugh.
Exactly. And you got to find the clients. I mean, you know, you exhaust your little circle of friends pretty quickly, and then they refer their friends. But a lot of your work is in marketing, and once you've exhausted that circle, then you've still got to keep up with that, and then there'll be something else that you've got to do, and something else. So, I think if you set it up as a business and look at it from a long-term point of view, those people sort of stay around a bit more than the people that are like, oh, we'll just I can take some good pictures and we'll do it low cost so that I can do more, but it's so much work, and people do burn out, and they lose the joy of why they started it in the first place, which is sad because it's a fun thing.
So I guess coming to the end now, in terms, you know, we've just probably you've probably given a few tips for people, but if someone was to come up to you and say, you know, Janelle, I want to do what you're doing, what would be the advice that you'd be giving to them in the beginning?
To start a photography business, definitely just photograph, like just shoot, and photograph what you love. Like, I love chasing kids around. I don't know why. Maybe I'm like in a 3-year-old, but I just love chasing kids around, so that's what I like to shoot. And I've tried to go out and shoot a sunset, but it's like, I'm bored. I'm sorry. Like, I can appreciate the sunset. I love it, but I don't want to photograph it. So definitely photograph what you love, what excites you, because if you focus on what excites you, you're going to keep going longer. Definitely learn business. Like, learn marketing, branding. Fortunately, I had that background from the graphic design side of my business first. So, definitely know that. Know your pricing. Know what you need to make from a business point of view, and how you're going to do that. And just surround yourself with people that are doing it the way you think you should be doing it. Like, do you know what I mean? There's definitely people that are succeeding in business, and the more shoots is not this. You can define success different for everyone, but it's not like the more shoots you do, the more successful you are. So definitely surround yourself with people that are definitely smarter than you. I want to be the dumbest person in the room. For sure. But just definitely shoot what you love. What was the second thing I said? Business, learn business. And play the long game. You know, play the long game for sure.
Patience.
Patience. And just connect with other businesses and provide value. Because if you can provide value and, you know, how can I help you? How can I serve you? It not only are you going to get that practice, but they're going to see you as somebody of value, and spread the word and that sort of thing. So definitely relationships, and I mean, if you want to photograph children, I mean, it depends what you want to photograph, but just surrounding yourself with people that are going to. So, like, when you photograph small children, you want to be, like, around all the mum groups and that sort of stuff. My kids are all older now, so I'm not there. But I might go and look for businesses that are and provide value to them and that sort of thing. So, it's just about surrounding yourself with other like-minded people.
And just before we finish up, in terms of dealing with rejection, is that something you've had to deal with? Oh,
my goodness, yes.
Yeah,
for sure, because my business is like when you have a business that you create stuff and you put it in front of a client, and they go, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Or I don't think that's worth X amount of dollars. You take it on board.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, you know, it does affect your self-value. So, yeah, you sort of definitely have to separate yourself from the work as much as possible. It's really hard, especially when, you know, you love what you do and you get really friendly with the client and that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, if rejection is there and a client is not happy, just no problem. What can we do to make, like, just, it's not an attack on you. For whatever reason, expectations haven't been met. And if expectations haven't been met, I go back and I see, have I dropped the ball somewhere? You know, and fix that so it doesn't happen again.
Great.
And then, but here we have a problem with this client, and how can I fix it? What's it going to take to make you happy? And if it's a redo, if it's a whatever, I don't want that client walking away until they're happy. And it's not about me and my ego, but this is an arty, fighty picture, and I like the way that looks. It's like, no, this is the client's family, and it has to be, they have to be happy with it. So you definitely have to separate yourself and just say, no, my value is not in my work. It's
Oh, nice.
So
I think that's about it. I'd like to thank you for coming onto the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll link all of Janelle's details in the show notes. And Janelle, once again, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Elliot. It's been fun.
No worries.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed watching that. If you could just share your thoughts in the comments section, that'll be great. And anyway, I'll catch you on the next episode.